Betrayal on set. Why 8 actors are going to prison for Yu Menglong's murder. Yu Menglong wasn't just a rising star, he was a phenomenon. With his boyish smile and raw acting talent, he captured the hearts of millions across Asia. From rom-coms to intense dramas, Yu's versatility was unparalleled. But behind the scenes, whispers of jealousy, rivalry, and tension simmered, creating a shadowed world few fans ever imagined. In the days leading up to his death, insiders reported unusual behavior among the cast and crew of his latest project. Tensions were high. Allegiances shifted overnight. And whispers of betrayal circulated like wildfire through the film set. Fans initially dismissed these rumors as typical industry drama. But the shocking events that unfolded have revealed that these were no ordinary disagreements, they were a deadly conspiracy. The fatal night. It was a cold night in the filming studio. Yu Menglong had just wrapped a late-night scene, exhausted but smiling. He joked with the crew, unaware of the storm brewing around him. According to sources close to the investigation, 8 actors, once his closest colleagues, orchestrated a plan to eliminate him. Motives ranged from professional jealousy to personal vendettas, with some claiming Yu had uncovered secrets that could destroy careers. The sequence of events that night remains murky, but investigators have pieced together a chilling timeline. At 10:30 p.m., Yu leaves the studio lounge, reportedly heading to his dressing room. At 10:45 p.m., security footage shows a group of actors lingering near the set, allegedly plotting. At 11 p.m., a violent altercation occurs. Witnesses report hearing shouting, but no one intervenes. At 11:30 p.m., Yu Menglong is found unconscious. Emergency services arrive, but it's too late. The nation was shaken. How could 8 respected actors, colleagues he had trusted, turn against him in such a horrifying manner? Uncovering the conspiracy. The investigation was unlike anything seen in the entertainment industry. For weeks, law enforcement combed through footage, messages, and interviews, uncovering a web of deception so intricate it could be mistaken for a thriller script. Police reports revealed secret meetings behind closed doors during filming breaks. A network of hidden communications between the 8 actors. Evidence suggesting deliberate manipulation of the set's security system. As authorities dug deeper, shocking confessions began to surface. Some actors attempted to shift blame, while others quietly admitted involvement. One source described it as a poisoned ecosystem, where envy, ambition, and fear collided in the most fatal way imaginable. Fans were left reeling. Social media exploded with disbelief, grief, and outrage. Memes, tributes, and hashtags flooded the internet, but beneath the chaos was a burning question. How could people Yu Menglong trusted betray him so cruelly? Celebrities, co-stars, and former colleagues publicly condemned the acts. Some revealed they had long suspected tension on set but never imagined it could escalate to murder. The shockwave didn't just hit the entertainment industry, it shook the entire nation. This was no longer a story of fame or talent. This was a story of betrayal, envy, and the deadly consequences of human ambition. The entertainment world had long adored Yu Menglong, but behind the glitz and glamour of the film set, a dangerous web of envy and resentment had been quietly forming. By the time investigators revealed the shocking truth, the picture was horrifying. 8 of Yu Menglong's closest colleagues were not only aware of his fate, they actively plotted it. Meet the 8 actors. While the names are now etched in headlines and court records, understanding who these actors were, and why they did it, is crucial. Each had a seemingly innocent public persona, but the investigation peeled back layers of ambition, rivalry, and betrayal. Once considered the next big thing in Chinese drama, actor A found his career eclipsed by Yu Menglong's meteoric rise. Sources say he feared being permanently overshadowed and saw Yu as the obstacle to the fame and recognition he craved. Investigators uncovered heated text messages expressing jealousy and resentment. Actor B reportedly owed massive debts to loan sharks. Evidence suggests he believed eliminating Yu could secure financial gain, through inheritance of projects or insider industry tips. Court documents revealed clandestine deals and money transfers that linked him directly to the night of the murder. This actor had a secret romantic history with someone Yu Menglong was close to, creating tension and jealousy that festered over months. Investigators believe this was a key motivator for manipulation and confrontation during the fatal night. Known for mentoring younger actors, Actor D had a dark streak behind the mentorship facade. Sources say he orchestrated secret meetings among the 8 conspirators, acting as the strategist who coordinated the fatal plan. His motive: control over the set and positioning himself as the industry's unchallenged authority. Actor E had a long-standing grudge against Yu for outshining him in auditions and projects. Investigators found video and message evidence showing deliberate attempts to undermine Yu's performances, sow discord, and create tension on set. Actor F had no personal vendetta against Yu but saw an opportunity to climb the career ladder. He willingly participated in the plot, believing his cooperation would earn him more prominent roles and connections with producers. His ambition outweighed any morality. Perhaps the most shocking is Actor G, a longtime friend of Yu Menglong who had shared jokes, meals, and personal secrets with him. Investigators described this betrayal as the coldest cut, with evidence showing G helped plan the fatal night and even misled Yu into vulnerable situations. Actor H's role was less direct but equally deadly. By disabling cameras, creating distractions, and misleading security, he enabled the rest of the group to execute their plan. His motive remains murky, though prosecutors suggest fear of exclusion and desire for acceptance drove his complicity. While each actor had individual motives, the investigation uncovered a sinister network of intertwined grudges, jealousy, and ambition. The combination was explosive. Personal envy, professional rivalry, financial desperation, and secret relationships collided, resulting in the most shocking betrayal in Chinese entertainment history. Investigators also discovered private chats with discussions like, "If you goes, our careers go up," attempts to manipulate other crew members into silence, coordinated steps to ensure no single actor could be blamed individually, spreading the risk among all 8. This was not a crime of passion, it was a calculated, collective act. Even before arrests, investigators had a chilling collection of evidence. A security footage showing the group moving suspiciously near Yu's dressing room. Handwritten notes with cryptic messages detailing who would do what that night. Digital communications on encrypted apps, outlining each step of the plan. One officer described the scene as something out of a thriller movie, but horrifyingly real. When news of the 8 actors' arrests broke, fans struggled to comprehend the betrayal. How could people you trusted, people who shared jokes, scripts, and late-night rehearsals, turn into conspirators in his murder? Social media erupted with grief, disbelief, and outrage. Hashtags calling for justice dominated platforms for weeks. Celebrities spoke out, condemning the betrayal and urging for accountability. For many, this case shattered the perception of the entertainment world as glamorous and safe, revealing its darkest underbelly. The night of Yu Menglong's death was like a scene ripped from a horror thriller, but it was terrifyingly real. Investigators have painstakingly reconstructed the events, revealing a sequence of betrayal and deception that no one could have imagined. On the evening of the tragedy, the studio was buzzing with the usual energy, lights, cameras, and rehearsals for a high-stakes scene. But behind the cameras, the 8 conspirators were executing a plan months in the making. Here's the timeline pieced together from security footage, witness statements, and digital evidence. At 8 p.m., Yu finishes a scene and heads to the lounge. He jokes with crew members, completely unaware of the storm brewing around him. At 9:15 p.m., the 8 actors gather secretly in a storage room. Security footage shows them whispering, passing notes, and double-checking their plan. Investigators later described this meeting as the final briefing of betrayal. At 10 p.m., Actor H tampers with the set's security cameras, creating blind spots in crucial areas where you would be alone. At 10:30 p.m., Yu heads to his dressing room. Actor G, the trusted friend, lingers nearby under the guise of delivering props. At 10:45 p.m., Actor D and Actor A approach the room, attempting to corner Yu. Witnesses report hearing raised voices and tension escalating. At 11 p.m., a violent confrontation occurs. Investigators later confirmed that Yu tried to defend himself, but the combined force of the 8 conspirators overwhelmed him. At 11:15 p.m., Actor B ensures no crew member interferes by sending them away under false pretense. Actor F keeps a lookout. 11:30 p.m. Yu Menglong is found unconscious. Emergency services are called immediately, but the injuries were fatal. What investigators revealed next shocked the nation. Yu Menglong had been betrayed not by one person, but by an entire inner circle of colleagues who had once shared his trust and dreams. The evidence shows that the murder was meticulously coordinated. A disabling surveillance cameras, Actor H ensured no direct footage, would capture the attack, though investigators later recovered partial blind spots that became key evidence. Manipulating the crew, several of the conspirators deliberately distracted or sent away staff to isolate you. A physical confrontation. At least 3 actors directly confronted you, while others controlled the environment to prevent his escape. This wasn't a spontaneous act, it was a cold, calculated orchestration of murder. Prosecutors later called it a crime planned with military precision, executed with shocking efficiency. After Yu was found, the conspirators attempted to cover their tracks. Messages were deleted, props were moved, and stories were crafted to shift blame. But investigators were relentless. Forensics, digital trails, and witness testimonies began to unravel their lies. One crew member recalled the scene. It was surreal. You were someone we all looked up to. To think that people we worked with every day could do this, it felt like the walls themselves were betraying us. The studio, once a place of laughter and creativity, became a crime scene. And the revelation that 8 actors were involved sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and the public alike. The news of Yu Menglong's murder by 8 actors exploded across social media. Fans flooded forums and comment sections, expressing grief and disbelief. How could they betray him like this? These weren't just colleagues, they were supposed to be his family. I can't believe someone we trusted could be capable of this. Media outlets reported non-stop, with live updates and breaking news alerts. The story dominated headlines, trending worldwide for weeks. Even more chilling were leaked details from the investigation. Some actors celebrated the plan in private chats before and after the murder. Others attempted to frame Yu's death as an accident. The nation was grappling with a horrifying truth. This was premeditated betrayal at the highest level. A senior detective involved in the case described the investigation as one of the most complex and disturbing cases I've ever encountered. The level of calculation, the betrayal of trust, it's unprecedented. 8 people, each with their own reasons, came together to orchestrate a murder in the very heart of the entertainment industry. It's a nightmare scenario. Immediately after Yu's death, police began reviewing footage from the studio, interviewing staff, and analyzing every digital footprint left behind. At first, it seemed like an accident, a tragic mishap on set. But subtle inconsistencies caught detectives' attention. Crew members reported seeing certain actors behaving suspiciously near Yu's dressing room before the incident. Security cameras had unexplained blind spots, and logs indicated tampering. Encrypted messages on phones hinted at premeditation, though they were initially difficult to trace. Investigators realized they were dealing with a sophisticated, multi-person conspiracy, not a spontaneous crime. The first major breakthrough came when digital forensics experts recovered deleted chat logs from encrypted apps used by the actors. In these messages, plans were clearly discussed about how to isolate Yu on set. Roles for each actor were assigned, detailing who would confront him, who would distract the crew, and who would disable cameras. Conversations revealed motives, including jealousy, career rivalry, financial gain, and personal grudges. Detectives described the chat logs as a damning blueprint of murder. In addition to digital evidence, physical forensics on the set revealed traces of struggle in unusual locations, confirming eyewitness accounts that Yu had tried to defend himself. Once confronted with the evidence, cracks began to appear. Some actors initially lied, claiming ignorance or accident. But the pressure mounted, and several eventually confessed, offering chilling details. Actor D admitted to coordinating the meeting and ensuring each participant knew their role. Actor G, Yu's former friend, confessed to luring him to a vulnerable location on the night of the murder. Actor H revealed how he disabled cameras and manipulated security systems to give the others free rein. Even more horrifying were the motivations they admitted: envy over roles, desire for fame, resentment of Yu's charm and popularity, and financial desperation. The detectives reportedly felt a mixture of disgust and disbelief at the cold calculation behind the crime. Armed with irrefutable evidence, authorities moved quickly. In a coordinated operation, all 8 actors were arrested in the early hours, many while preparing for rehearsals. Police seized phones, computers, and personal notes. Investigators combed through social media and personal accounts, uncovering additional incriminating communications. The arrests sent shockwaves through the nation. Fans, initially grieving Yu's death, now faced the devastating reality. Those responsible were people they had admired and trusted. As the trial approached, details of the actor's involvement dominated media coverage. Courtrooms were packed with journalists, fans, and industry insiders. Graphic evidence, including security footage, chat logs, and testimony from crew members, painted a horrifying picture. Public outrage grew as more details emerged about the premeditation and betrayal. Social media erupted, trending hashtags demanded justice, and fan forums debated motives and accountability. Many viewers struggled with the emotional impact of learning that friends, colleagues, and mentors could orchestrate such a crime. Investigators also revealed details that shocked even the most hardened reporters. Some actors attempted to frame Yu's death as an accident. Others celebrated their plan in private chats before the murder occurred. The level of coordination and cold calculation was so extreme that authorities called it unprecedented in Chinese entertainment history. The revelations were not just shocking, they were a wake-up call about the toxic potential of envy and ambition when left unchecked in high-pressure environments. Courtrooms were packed from day one. Media coverage was relentless, with live feeds, commentary, and social media trending hashtags keeping the public glued to every detail. The atmosphere was tense, heavy with grief, disbelief, and anger. The judge's warning: the presiding judge began the trial by emphasizing the gravity of the crime. This is not merely a case of professional rivalry or personal dispute. This is the premeditated murder of a young man beloved by the nation, the judge declared. The victim's legacy. Tributes to Yu Menglong filled the courtroom, from photos and letters from fans to testimonies from colleagues who spoke of his kindness, talent, and generosity. From the first day, it was clear this trial was more than a legal proceeding, it was a national reckoning. One of the most gripping parts of the trial was hearing testimonies from crew members, friends, and even some of the accused. Each account peeled back more layers of betrayal. Crew confessions. Several crew members admitted being pressured or misled by the conspirators. One described how actor F had repeatedly instructed staff to leave the set, creating an opportunity for the attack. Colleague accounts. Former co-stars and friends spoke about how the actors involved had feigned camaraderie while secretly harboring resentment and jealousy. The confessions of the 8. Perhaps most chilling were the defendants' own statements. Some confessed in chilling detail how they coordinated the murder, who distracted you, who confronted him physically, and who ensured the crime went unnoticed. The courtroom fell silent as the prosecution read excerpts from recovered messages. "If you goes, our careers go up. Make sure no one sees this happen. Stick to the plan." Hearing these words, the audience, and the nation, realized the murder was not just a spontaneous act, but a meticulously planned betrayal. Yu Menglong's family attended every session, their grief palpable. His mother, in an emotional testimony, described the loss as a wound that will never heal. She recounted the love and dedication Yu had for his craft, emphasizing that the betrayal by people he trusted was far worse than the physical act of murder itself. Fans also expressed collective grief, organizing memorials, online vigils, and campaigns for justice. The world watched as one of China's brightest stars became a symbol of both talent and the dangers of unchecked envy. Defense attorneys attempted to downplay involvement for some actors, claiming negligence or lack of intent. But the evidence was overwhelming. Encrypted messages, coordinated plans, and confessions left little room for doubt. Public commentary focused on the magnitude of betrayal, how 8 trusted colleagues had become conspirators. Some industry insiders called it a wake-up call about toxic competition and ambition in show business. One legal analyst summarized, "The evidence in this trial isn't just compelling, it's devastating. It paints a clear picture of betrayal at every level, both personal and professional." The emotional turning point came when investigators presented the security footage, showing the subtle yet deliberate actions of each actor that led to Yu's death. The nation watched in horror as every piece of the plan unfolded, step by step. Our actor D was seen orchestrating the movements of the group. Our actor G lured you into a vulnerable position. Our actor H disabled cameras and ensured no one would intervene. It was a visual confirmation of the chilling truth. 8 people had conspired, coordinated, and executed the murder of Yu Menglong. By the time Part 6 of the trial commenced, prosecutors had assembled a mountain of evidence that left no doubt about the actor's guilt. 1. Digital trails. Our investigators recovered deleted chat logs that meticulously outlined the plan for Yu's murder. Voice notes, encrypted messages, and photos were used as proof of premeditation. One shocking audio clip featured conspirators discussing roles in the crime just days before it happened. 2. Security footage. Despite attempts to disable cameras, partial footage revealed critical movements, showing actors orchestrating the events leading to Yu's death. The footage revealed their deliberate coordination, exposing the mechanics of betrayal step by step. 3. Witness testimonies. Crew members described unusual behavior, secret meetings, and unexplained absences among the 8 actors. Some witnesses spoke of cryptic messages and private conversations that hinted at violent intent. These testimonies, combined with the recovered evidence, formed a nearly airtight case. 4. Physical evidence. A forensic analysis of the scene confirmed signs of struggle. Traces of fingerprints and other physical evidence corroborated witness accounts and digital records. Under the weight of overwhelming evidence, several actors confessed, providing chilling insight into their motives. Our actor D admitted to coordinating the attack, saying, "It was a plan we all agreed on. I never imagined it would end this way." Our actor G, Yu's former friend, tearfully confessed, acknowledging his betrayal and role in luring Yu into a vulnerable position. Our actor H revealed how he disabled cameras, admitting he was aware that it facilitated the fatal confrontation. Some confessions were cold and calculated, while others were emotional, with actors expressing remorse only after being confronted with irrefutable proof. The courtroom was tense, with emotions running high as the evidence was presented. Yu Menglong's family listened in stunned silence, their grief palpable. Fans and media documented every moment, understanding for the first time the full depth of betrayal. Legal experts described the case as one of the most complex and chilling in the history of the entertainment industry. One journalist wrote, "It was a murder planned not out of passion, but out of envy, ambition, and greed. 8 people, trusted colleagues, became conspirators in the coldest act imaginable." The revelation that 8 actors were involved in a single, coordinated murder sent shockwaves across the nation and the entertainment world. Social media exploded with grief, outrage, and calls for justice. Our industry insiders admitted that while jealousy and competition were common, nothing like this had ever occurred before. The public began to question the true nature of trust, friendship, and collaboration in high-pressure creative industries. Fans organized online vigils and memorial campaigns to honor Yu Menglong's life, turning the tragedy into a nationwide moment of mourning. With evidence and confessions stacking up, the trial moved toward its inevitable conclusion. Prosecutors requested the maximum sentence, emphasizing that the crime was premeditated, coordinated among 8 individuals, motivated by jealousy, ambition, and personal vendettas. The courtroom was silent as the judge prepared to deliver a ruling that would bring justice for Yu Menglong and send a message to the entertainment industry about the consequences of envy and betrayal. After months of gripping courtroom drama, emotional testimonies, and shocking evidence, the day of judgment finally arrived. The world watched as justice was served for one of the most notorious betrayals in entertainment history. The courtroom fell silent as the judge read the verdict. All 8 actors were found guilty of premeditated murder of Yu Menglong. The judge emphasized the severity of the crime. This case is unprecedented in its cruelty and calculation. 8 individuals, trusted colleagues of the victim, conspired to take his life. Their actions betray not only Yu Menglong but the trust of an entire nation. Each actor's involvement was acknowledged individually, highlighting their roles, from planning and coordination to execution and cover-up. The judge cited the confessions, digital evidence, and eyewitness testimonies as irrefutable proof of guilt. The guilty verdict sent shockwaves across the nation, leaving fans, colleagues, and even the general public reeling. The sentencing reflected the gravity of the crime. Actor D, the mastermind, life imprisonment without parole. Actor G, the friend who lured you, 25 years in prison. Actor H, camera manipulator, 20 years in prison. Actors A, B, C, E, F. Sentences ranged from 15 to 25 years, depending on their roles in the conspiracy. The judge explained that the sentences were designed to reflect both the premeditated nature of the crime and the societal impact. These actors destroyed not only a life but the trust and hope of millions. Their actions demand the highest form of accountability. The verdict ignited an unprecedented wave of public reaction. Fans flooded social media with grief, tributes, and messages of support for Yu Menglong's family. Hashtags such as #Justice for Yu Menglong and #Betrayal on set trended globally. Media outlets published analyses of the actors' motives, the evidence, and the implications for the entertainment industry. One fan wrote, "Yu Menglong brought us joy, laughter, and hope. These people betrayed him in the worst way imaginable. Justice is finally served, but the wound will never heal." The trial and verdict sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Studios implemented stricter oversight on sets to prevent similar incidents. Actors and production staff began openly discussing workplace rivalries, mental health, and accountability. Industry leaders warned that jealousy, ambition, and toxic competition could no longer be ignored. The case became a sobering reminder of the human cost of ambition when trust is shattered, and envy is allowed to fester unchecked. Even in death, Yu Menglong remained a symbol of talent, kindness, and the light that can exist even in a dark world. Memorials were organized across Asia, and his films and dramas saw a surge in viewership as fans and new audiences celebrated his life and artistry. Charities and foundations were established in his name to support young actors and raise awareness about mental health and workplace safety in the entertainment industry. Tributes poured in from co-stars, directors, and fans, reinforcing that while Betrayal took him from this world, his legacy could not be erased. The revelation that trusted actors could orchestrate such a betrayal shook the foundations of the industry. New oversight measures. Studios introduced stricter monitoring protocols, including tighter security, psychological evaluations, and independent reporting channels for harassment or suspicious behavior. Workplace safety awareness. Producers and directors emphasized the importance of mental health and interpersonal accountability on set. The case became a cautionary tale of how jealousy, rivalry, and unchecked ambition could turn deadly. A re-evaluation of trust. Many actors publicly reflected on how fragile trust can be in a highly competitive environment, calling for more transparency and ethical standards. Industry insiders described the tragedy as a wake-up call for everyone in entertainment, revealing the dark consequences of ambition left unchecked. Yu Menglong's fans refused to let his legacy be overshadowed by betrayal. Across social media, memorials, tributes, and fan campaigns celebrated his life. Online platforms held tribute streams, where fans watched Yu's dramas and shared stories of how he inspired them. In major cities, fan-organized vigils commemorated anniversaries of his death, reminding the world of both his talent and the human cost of betrayal. The case sparked nationwide discussions about the darker side of human ambition. Jealousy and rivalry. Commentators dissected how envy among peers can escalate into catastrophic consequences if left unchecked. Workplace ethics. The trial became a reference point in discussions about accountability, trust, and responsibility in all professions, not just entertainment. Trust in public figures. Audiences began to question the images and personas presented by celebrities, realizing that even trusted colleagues could hide deadly intentions. Psychologists and sociologists weighed in, noting that the tragedy revealed the potential for toxic dynamics to fester in high-pressure environments. It became more than a murder case, it was a cultural lesson on morality, loyalty, and ambition. Despite the horror of his death, Yu Menglong's artistry and spirit endured. A film and drama revival, his past works experienced renewed interest, with fans and new viewers celebrating his talent. Attributes from colleagues, co-stars and directors often spoke of him as a source of inspiration, calling him irreplaceable and the soul of every set he touched. Foundations and scholarships. Several organizations were established in his memory, supporting young actors and promoting mental health awareness in the entertainment industry. In death, Yu Menglong became a symbol of both light and caution, a reminder of human potential, talent, and the fragility of trust. Beyond entertainment, the case influenced societal discourse. Discussions about jealousy, betrayal, and ambition extended into schools, workplaces, and online communities. Legal scholars cited the trial as a precedent in prosecuting multi-perpetrator conspiracies. Mental health campaigns referenced the tragedy as an example of why unchecked emotions can have devastating consequences. Yu Menglong's case, tragic as it was, became a lens through which society examined morality, ambition, and human relationships.